Are you looking for a lightweight lawnmower that's bigger than a 21 inch but smaller than a 36 inch? And you only got about $1,000 to spend on it? And the only option you can find online is the Toro Timemaster, but it's getting horrible reviews. So, does the Timemaster suck? Is it worth the money? Or are the people using it just idiots? Let's find out. Random acts of lawn care. What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Seth the Lawn Surgeon. Alright people, you already know what we're talking about. We're talking about that Toro Timemaster. Bam, 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 bam. Because apparently people haven't seen my like 30 other videos that I've posted about the Toro Timemaster. Or they're just new subscribers. I'll let it slide this time. Alrighty then. Got on the fresh new hoodies. On deck. Shout out to my man at the print tent. Alright. If you haven't seen my other 30 videos that I've done on the Toro Timemaster, the common question that I get most of the time is the Toro Timemaster worth it versus getting the Toro Turfmaster? For those who don't know, the Toro Timemaster is the residential version and the Toro Turfmaster is the commercial version. So the 3 points I'm going to point out. What are the difference between commercial and residential? Why are you buying the mower? And also mulching. Commercial versus residential. For those who don't know, commercial lawnmowers are basically made to be idiot-proof. I know that sounds funny, but it's true. Think about it. Commercial mowers are going to get beat up. They're going to get put on trailers. People might not strap them down. They're going to be rolling all over the place. They're going to be going over curbs. They're going to be running into walls. So they need to be tough. They need to be durable. They can't have a lot of moving parts, and they have to last. Versus a residential mower. A residential mower is a mower that's meant to be used once a week, maybe every 2 weeks. It's never going to go on a trailer. It needs to be able to fit into small places, to store in somebody's garage, and it can have as much moving parts as it wants to because it's not going to go on a trailer where the moving parts can get broken or whatever. So the reason I'm saying this is because the Toro Turfmaster is a commercial mower. It doesn't have a lot of fancy parts. It's harder to change the levels. They say the drive system is pretty easy, but it's definitely not as easy as the personal pace system on the Timemaster. But it's durable. And like I said, with commercial mowers, they have to be idiot proof because you can hire somebody straight off the street and they're not going to care about your mower. You know, they're going to drive it off the curb, you know, run it into walls or whatever, and go home and, you know, wait for their paycheck. The Timemaster is a residential mower. So with you going in knowing that, you can't just treat it like a commercial mower. Even though it's bigger than a 21 inch, even though it's more powerful than a 21 inch, it's still not a commercial mower. It's just a big 21 inch mower. So that leads me to my next point. Why are you buying the mower? And the reason I ask you this is, when I bought my Toro Timemaster, I bought it for the wrong reason. But the only reason that it lasted as long as it did was because I knew it was a residential mower and I treated it as such and I took care of it. But I used it too much. When I got it, I was cutting 5 or 6 yards that were treated yards, manicured yards, and they need to have a nice finished touch. And I was using a 21 inch mower, which it wasn't strong enough to cut it. So I needed something a little stronger, but I only had $1,000. So I went out and I got the Toro Timemaster. And I was using that bad boy regularly. You know, like imagine this. I got 5 or 6 yards that I cut every 10 days. All those yards I cut every 10 days. And whenever I cut those yards, I was at least cutting the front yard with the mower, if not the whole yard, because, you know, depending on how much of the yard was treated. I was wearing it out. I got it in 2014. I say by 2016, I had wore the belts out, the drive belt. And so when I asked you that question, why are you buying the mower? It's because if you plan on getting this mower to use as, you know, say you got some ditches to cut, say you got some backyards that you can't get in the gate, this will cut any level grass. If you open that flap, it will cut any level grass. But if you're planning on cutting like whole yards with it, and you got like more than 10 yards, and you plan on cutting all your yards with the Toro Timemaster, it's not the mower. It's not, like I said, it's not a commercial mower. It's not going to take that wear and tear. But it would be perfect for somebody that had a walk behind and they needed a backup mower that can fit in small gate, that can cut ditches, and if your walk behind broke down, it will be there to cut all your yards until your walk behind got back. Or it would be perfect for somebody that had mostly zero turn yards and they just needed a small lawnmower to get into some places that your zero turn can't get into. That's the type of situation I would suggest. If you are going to use this mower to cut all your yards, whole yards, and you got more than 10 yards, I wouldn't even suggest getting the Turfmaster. Because of the price, it's about $2,000. You might as well go ahead and look into a walk behind. You know what I mean? Unless you have $2,000 cash and you want to get the Turfmaster. But like I said, the Timemaster or the Turfmaster are not main mower. I call them supplemental mowers. It's just that the Timemaster is the residential version of the supplemental mower and the Turfmaster is the commercial version. If you want a mower that's going to do everything, you might as well get a walk behind. Third and final thing, mulching. Alright, there we go. Pay no attention to the grass. I need to clean this bad boy. But anyway, this is the flap. This is how I keep it when I'm cutting tall grass. The way mulching works is this door closes and all the grass stays up under the lawnmower. As you can see, got gator blades on it. Comes with the mower with those gator blades. So all that grass stays up under the deck. It chops it up like a blender, right? And once it chops it up, it falls back down to the ground. Alright, so those of you who don't fully understand the concept of mulch, basically, in order for the lawnmower to fully mulch that grass that gets caught up under the deck, it has to have time to do it. It doesn't matter how big the lawnmower is, doesn't matter if the lawnmower is a 14 horsepower like my walk behind. It doesn't matter if it's a 22 horsepower like my Troy Bilt. It needs enough time to mulch up that grass up under that deck. So if you don't give it enough time to mulch up that grass and you keep going, then it's going to bog down. Because guess what? As it's trying to blend up that stuff, you're going forward and you're adding more and more grass to it. It's a machine. It only can do what you program it to do, like a computer. So a lot of people see with the Toro Timemaster has that personal pace system, which is so awesome. It will, when you first get it, it will make you run behind it. It'll go so fast. So people get caught up in that sometimes, I believe, and they just go, no matter how tall the grass is. But if you go slow, if the grass is tall, if the grass is thick, and you go slow and take your time, the Timemaster will chop it up. And if it's really tall, all you have to do is open the flap. Open the flap just like I showed you, and it'll spit it right out. And so, you know, if you do all those things, if you think about all those things and do regular maintenance, change the oil and everything, and take care of it, that Toro Timemaster will last. But like I said, the reason why I said are the people using it idiots is not trying to call nobody idiots, but if you're gonna get into lawn care, you gotta know the difference between a residential and a commercial mower, and you gotta know that you can't use a residential mower like a commercial mower. You know, you're not gonna go out here and use a little 21-inch residential mower and throw it around and beat it up and expect it to last. It's not. It's a residential mower. So, hope that helped you guys. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, and stay Stay tuned. Yes, sir.